Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the UKG Podcasts. I'm happy to be back, been missing in action. I thought I would always be online daily, every day, especially after the watch along, but it's life. Sometimes you're busy, sometimes you're held up at work, and yeah, it is what it is. So I'm happy to be back, and today we are going to discuss about the Manchester United defensive crisis. There seems to be a defensive crisis at United because Maguire is suspended, Martinez is suspended. Trying to check why my microphone on TikTok says it's not available, but it's working. Yeah, so um why is this saying UKG debate? It should be UKG podcast. Let me just fix that. Yeah, it should be UKG podcast. Yeah. So first of all, how are we doing? How are we faring on? It's been a while since I was live, other than of course the watch along. Yeah, I thought that I would have time to also do content, especially in that 1 month, 27 days without football. United didn't play for 27 days, but yeah, sometimes life happens, and I wish this was my main gig, and I would be online all time. And that's why the platform needs to grow. The platform also, I need to add more people onto it so that in case I'm not available, there's someone else who can hold the fort when I'm not around. Yeah, things have not been easy, but hey, we are back. I'm back, and hopefully we'll continue having these lives every day. So karibu sana, karibu sana. It's been a very, very difficult time, difficult season to be a United fan, if we are honest. Very, very, very difficult time to be a United fan, simply because when the season started, um, let me read this. What's this about? Sorry. I just got a message. Let me just see what this is about. Okay, sorry about that. It's Kimi. Kimi is a very, very good friend of mine. So let me just respond to him on DM. Yeah, so this season particularly has been very, very difficult for United fans. The season, the way it started all gloom and doom, considering United finished 15th last season. Didn't win the Europa League final. The last time United were in the Europa League final, they were beaten. And United were hopeful that making it into the Champions League via the Europa League route. So it didn't work out well. Oof, I've just noticed the neon light is too bright. Sorry for that. So the season started, 8 players gone, 4 players in. We can't really count Diego Leon as a first team player. And of course, United fans were hopeful that Amorim will fix issues. United will challenge for Champions League. It's happening now. Amorim was sacked. Carrick has come on, and United are third despite losing to Leeds. But a lot of fans online are concerned, and one of the things that we are going to discuss today is whether the FA, whether the PGMOL, whether the referees are biased against United, because that's one of the discussions that has been ever since United lost that Leeds game. The other fans, like myself, who are saying that let's not really focus on the referees. United should be winning their matches without depending on the referee. The referees will always be biased. In my view, in my point of view, my POV is score 4 goals, let VAR deny all of them. Then we can now say they are biased. But when you lose your matches the way United lost to Leeds, and then you're looking for an excuse, you say that, Martinez got the red card, or Leeds scored the second goal. The elbow was not spotted. To me, that's just a way to find something to console oneself. Yes, it is a big thing. United this season have suffered a lot due to poor calls by the referee, poor calls by VAR. For example, the Bournemouth game shouldn't have been a draw. The Leeds game, the second goal would not have been allowed. But still, it was not like a 3-2 loss, 4-3 loss. No, it was a 2-1 loss, of which Casemiro scored from a set piece, and United going 2-0 down the first 30 minutes with that sort of performance. We also have to point out that the performances were not good. So as much as we are looking at referees, we are looking at VAR. With the Maguire issue, we are going to discuss about his suspension being extended. United simply need to win their matches. We can't always expect everything to be perfect. Of course, the AFA, PGMOL, the referees need to step up. It's not only United that are suffering from poor calls, from missed calls by VAR and the referee. No, there are other teams that are also suffering, but they're finding a way to win it. So United rested for 27 days and they put out that display. So focusing a lot on the FA, PGMOL and referees without actually focusing on the performances, then that's being unfair. We have to be logical. As much as United had those unfair calls, they did not perform well. But still, we can't overlook the fact that the FA, the referees, the Premier League, the PGMOL need to step up because they are making a lot of mistakes. We'll go through the Maguire news. We'll discuss about that and see. In my view, it was an unfair call. And United of late have been receiving a lot of unfair calls. And it's also not helping United's cause to get into the Champions League. But that being said, United also sometimes or most of the times are not helping themselves. Leeds are at home. It's a derby. It's a local derby. For guys who understand United's history, the Leeds game is more or less like the Liverpool game. It's a local derby. Leeds hadn't won at Old Trafford for decades. They come, they play simple football, they outplay United, a team that had played 6 days, 7 days before United, and United had rested. So both things are true. That United didn't perform well, as well as the referee and the VAR were not fair. Both of them are true. It's difficult to say that United lost because of the referee. It's very, very difficult to put up that case. Partially, it's true that United may have lost because of the referee, because going to 10 men made the comeback difficult. But at the same time, United conceded 2 goals playing poorly. It was not 1-0. When Martinez received the yellow card, United were already 2-0 down. So both of them happened. Both of them have resulted to that result. Yes, it was 2-1 or 1-2 loss. And we are going to discuss about all that. So let me say again, thank you for being patient with me. I know I haven't been online quite a bit. I haven't posted videos quite a bit. I have been MIA. It's something I personally have to sort out. Sometimes you have to pass through fire to come out a better man. So there are a couple of things at a personal level I'm sorting out, and that's why I haven't been online. And I hope also to onboard more people onto the platform so that whenever I'm not around, the show continues, the platform continues posting videos. But we'll discuss that at the end of the show. So for now, I want us to go to the main topic of discussion, which is the defensive crisis that is at Manchester United. Maguire is suspended. He received a further suspension because of dissent. Martinez received a straight red card, so that means that it's 3 matches. And United are playing a very crucial fixture versus Chelsea over the weekend on Saturday. And Chelsea are pushing for Champions League. United are yet to play Liverpool and Chelsea. They are playing Chelsea. and then in 2-3 weeks time they are playing Liverpool. United losing to Leeds has actually made the permutations, the calculations for Champions League a bit difficult, considering they are yet to play Chelsea, they are yet to play Liverpool. So going to Chelsea, Stamford Bridge, last time when we had the watch along, I said United, the last 5 fixtures, they have actually not won at Champions League. At Stamford Bridge. Sorry, I'll need to confirm that. Stamford Bridge of late has been a very difficult place to go. But what we've seen with United so far this season is they can go to away games in big games like Arsenal, Emirates. They can go to Anfield and win matches. And United is a team that has proven that when you expect them not to win, they win. So Maguire is not available. Martinez is not available. So that leaves the options of Luke Shaw. He can play left centre back. We have Ayden Heaven. We have Leny Yoro. And Mazraoui can also play centre back. But Mazraoui has not been performing well. He has played few matches, and the few matches he's played, he's not been performing well. Luke Shaw is struggling, if you are honest. Even playing in that left back position, he's struggling. Like in the Leeds game, he was not available most of the time defensively. So looking at the proper centre backs United have left is Leny Yoro, of which a lot of fans complain about him. He's still a young boy, 20 years old. Fans expect him to play like a prime defender at 27, 28, 30-year-old. He's still very young. Ayden Heaven is also a young defender. When he's played, he's had good performances and poor performances. So those are the two real centre backs, first team centre backs options that we have at United. So the question here is, and to you as guys who are watching online, is that sufficient enough for United to beat Chelsea? Does Carrick need to change his tactics to mitigate some of the factors? Like, these are young defenders, they are not really experienced. Of course, Yoro has a bit of experience because he's played a lot of first-team football at Lille as well as United. He's been playing alongside Maguire. So having both young centre-backs, what will Carrick need to do? Are they enough to beat Chelsea? So that's part of the discussion we are going to have. And before I go to the Maguire verdict, I'll read some of the comments. Make sure you post the comments. Make sure you hit the like, share button so that we have more guys coming on to the live so that we have a discussion. So let me read some of the comments. TikTok is very, very active. Let me just see whether I can adjust the screen. I wish TikTok had a way to minimize, like I could minimize and maximize the chat. Shadonal, big up Shadonal. Thanks for the one heart me. Much appreciated. Big up. So let me read some of the comments. It's good to see everyone who's joining. Dak, you're saying the FA has been strongly against us. I do agree. It's like there is a campaign to make sure United don't get to the Champions League. That's my view. That's my personal view. It's like they want to give United poor performances so that they can get something to sell. United not performing well is selling more than United performing well. But at the same time, United are not helping themselves. When the world is against you, when guys are against you, you need to stop it. You need to find a way to prove them wrong. For example, in that Leeds game, United had 2 weeks. Let's remove the international break week because most of the players were training with their national teams. But they had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. So they are not making it easier for themselves. I would rather, as the FA is trying to sabotage United to get the Champions League, they're also doing something to negate that. That's my point of view. If you already know that someone is against you, you don't prove them right. You prove them wrong. So the FA needs to step up. It's not only United that has suffered. There are other teams that have also suffered. Like Everton is one of them. Another example is, why fine Nottingham Forest? Why fine Everton and not fine Man City? Man City have had the 115 charges over their heads for years. and they are doing nothing about it. Everton got docked points. Nottingham Forest got docked points. But City are still surviving. City are on course to win the Premier League. They are on course to win the domestic treble. They've won the Carabao Cup. They are still in the FA Cup. They are still in a shout for Premier League. So at the end of the day, the FA needs to step up. The PGMOL needs to step up. United have suffered a lot from missed calls, poor calls. Like I was watching some of the mistakes they've made. One of I can't remember whether it was the Brighton game or which game. United had a wrong VAR call for a goal that was scored. They said that Bruno was offside when receiving the pass, and that shouldn't have counted. But when Bruno received the ball, he was onside. When he passed the ball, he was onside. You look at Calvert-Lewin, he elbowed the defender, and the goal still counted. You look at the Bournemouth game, the Ahmad one should have been a penalty. It was a similar foul to Maguire. So I don't understand the point of having VAR if they are still making the wrong calls. Honestly, I don't. It's an embarrassing situation where you invest in that technology, you invest in training people to use the technology, and still don't follow the rules and still don't become fair. The point of introducing VAR was to make the game fair. But you can't use VAR to make the game unfair. One time you see a player gets a card, another player does not get a card for a similar foul. Maguire got a red card for a foul, and Ahmad doesn't get the foul. Similar fouls. So, Dak, I agree with you totally in terms of the FA is out to witch hunt United. When United don't win, it sells more. During the watch along, I said the fact that United have lost, it will overshadow Arsenal's loss, and it has. For example, the Maguire news has made everyone forget that Arsenal lost the game. Everyone forget that Arsenal are bottling the league, because that's what sells. The Premier League themselves sell papers, they sell news. The major journalists, the major news channels, the papers, news outlets, they sell news because United didn't perform. If United won the Leeds game, what is there to sell? Let's just be honest. What is there to sell? So, in my view, the FA need to step up. The FA needs to step up. The PGML needs to step up. For me, we'd rather even not have VAR at all. What's the point of VAR? Because VAR has been neither here nor there. It's working at one time, the other time it's not. Big up, Teresaya David 607. Thanks for following the UKG squad on Twitch. Big up. Thanks for giving us a follow on Twitch. Big up. Yeah, so Dak, I agree with you. The FA, it's like they are out to get United for something. So let me read the comments quickly, then we start the discussion. How can you count the referee out? In my view, outperform the other team. As I said, after that watch along, score the first goal, it's denied. Score the second goal, it's denied. Score the third goal, it's denied. Then now guys will be like, hey, come on. You can't say every goal is not a goal. For example, when United conceded the first goal, they should have stepped up. They should have woken up, gotten the equalizer. They didn't. For the first 30 minutes, United was nowhere near Leeds. Leeds outplayed United. So the only way, and I'm speaking also out of experience as someone who's played local sports, Kenyan sports, and I've been in games where referees are biased. You go to an away game, they get a referee from their hometown. They get a referee who's their former player. They have a referee they drink with him after the game or even before, or they meet with him and tell him, We have a team that's coming. It's a good team. Give us the advantage. So what you do, make sure you outperform the other team. Because at one point in that game, the referee will be called into point. I've actually watched some league games, even in the European leagues, where a referee is substituted by the fourth official because he's continuously making the wrong calls. I've seen situations where the referee has overruled VAR. I've seen situations where VAR has overruled the referee. He gives a red, he's called. In fact, there is that video that usually makes rounds on social media. A player was given a card. The referee is called by the VAR. He overturns the card. He rescinds the card. So, Dak, to answer your question, the best way to put the referee out of the game is make sure you are outperforming the opponent. But you can't play poorly and expect the referee to help you. And in life, whenever something goes wrong, people look for something to blame. United losing to Leeds, it was not down to the referee. That's why I said both of them are true. The referee, the VAR were wrong, but at the same time, United didn't perform well. But because United didn't perform well and lost, fans are looking for something to cling on in terms of blame. They have to apportion blame somewhere. And some fans are apportioning blame to the FA, to the Premier League, to the VAR, to the referee. But before even Martinez got that red, United were losing that game. Remember, Martinez stopped a goal on the goal line. Tanaka was almost scoring. United could have been 3-0 down. So the best way to nullify the referee, to make sure that the referee looks bad, to make sure that the referee looks like he doesn't understand what he's doing or he is biased, make sure that you are outperforming the other team. That's the best way. And I've watched games where that actually has come to light, and you find that the referee is called out by the match organizers, by the tournament organizers or directors, and he's told, you sit, you are the fourth official, let the fourth official now become the referee. That's why fourth officials are also referees. We've also seen, especially in the championship, the English championship, referees being suspended and fined because they are clearly biased. The team is playing well, but the referee is showing clear bias. But it's difficult to build a case when you're losing by playing badly. The referee is hard on you. So, for example, score three corners, then you'll be like, come on. You can't keep saying that those three corners, all of them are fouls. Or you can't say all three goals are offsides. Or you can't say this is a foul, that one is not a foul. No, you have to be fair. Because also referees at halftime, they get a brief. When the coach or the manager is with the players in the changing room, giving them tactical advice for second half, the referees are also being told, hey, look, you are leaning on one side, or that call was not bad, or the game is getting out of hand, start giving yellows. They also get a brief. They also discuss. The linesman, the referee, the fourth official, they discuss like, come on, man. You for example, the linesman keeps giving wrong calls on offsides, then the VAR overrules it. The linesman will be told at halftime, look, you have to step up or we will suspend you, because also their job is on the line. So United needs to outperform. The only way to deal with this, is United need to outperform the other team, make the referee also look bad, make the opponents look bad, and also make the referee look bad, because the referee can't give wrong calls to the opponents continuously. Even himself, he'll be embarrassed because he keeps making the wrong calls to show bias. We watch Kenyan Premier League. We watch other African leagues. There are games you actually see the referee is truly biased. The team is outperforming the opponents, but the referee does not want that team to win. He's giving a lot of advantage to the opponents. But when you're performing poorly, it's difficult to build a case. It's very, very difficult to build a case. Yeah. Um, score 4 goals like we are Bayern. It can happen. The Bournemouth game first leg was 4-4. United was scoring, they let Bournemouth score. So it can happen. It's a possibility. But those decisions influence results, so you can't overlook it. Again, yes, those decisions change the game. But in the first half, where was United? In fact, United performed better with 10 men than 11. When Martinez got the red card is when United started playing well, to a point where they pulled one back. But when you're playing at home, United are playing at home. They are playing versus Leeds, who are fighting not to go to relegation. The first minute, they almost scored. United rested for 2 weeks. I've said let's remove the first week because they went for international break. So, yes, the decision influence games. But are they influencing when you're ahead or are they influencing when you're behind? That's my question to you, Dak. Shadonal, big up for the gifts. You're saying good evening, UKG. Hope you had a good day and lovely weekend, and have a lovely weekend ahead. Yeah, I had a good day. I had a good day, and yeah, I also hope that you have a lovely weekend. Prince, you're saying hello, bro. Do you think we'll be going to sell more players this summer? Yes. Based on the reports, United will be letting go of 8 players through natural attrition, that is contracts running out as well as sales. For example, Joshua Zirkzee will be sold. Maguire will be sold. Joshua Zirkzee will be sold. Ugarte will be sold. Not Maguire. Sorry for that. Also, players like Malacia, the contract is ending. Onana might be sold or will be sold. Who else will be sold? Altay Bayandia, there are reports that he has already agreed a deal with Besiktas. Rashford will be sold. Who else will be sold? Mason Mount might be sold. Who knows? If a club comes with a huge chunk of money, they might sell Bruno. So United are also looking to get some money for the rebuild. Yeah. So Prince Rich, bigger for that. Let's see. Sven, I've seen speculations regarding Trashford's possible return. We never learn. What I can say in that regard is Rashford is not performing well in Barcelona, more so after the Atletico Madrid game, and they were kicked out. Rashford did not have a good performance. So some of the reports you see, they are also agent driven. The agent is trying to create an avenue for his player to still look valuable. He's also trying to create a situation where other clubs will come in. So if the agent puts out a report that United will welcome Rashford back, and United, on the other hand, are saying that they are willing to sell Rashford, then that makes it an open market. Other clubs can come in for the player. So if Barcelona do say they are buying him, United do say they are selling him, then that leaves only one club that will buy him, and that's Barcelona. So to create a situation where it's an open market, they say that, or the agent can say that Rashford is going back to United. The United's briefing is Rashford will be sold to recoup the money. Then now the agent will start getting calls from other clubs. We know that PSG have been wanting him. I don't know whether that's the same situation. Other Premier League clubs are interested in him. I wouldn't be shocked if Arsenal go for him, or a club like Aston Villa and Newcastle go for him. The other clubs in Europe that would go for him. So the briefing that Rashford might go back to United, I don't believe, I can't verify, but I don't believe it's coming from United side. I tend to believe it's coming from the agent side. The agent's trying to create a narrative that he's available in the market. Because if Barcelona do say they're buying him, then it's a closed market, only one club. But if United say they are selling him, the agent pushes a narrative that he's going back, then more clubs will come in. Big up. I'm doing well. Thanks a lot for the follow. Thanks for commenting, and also let me know, Teresia. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Teresia David. I hope I'm pronouncing because I'm used to Teresia or Teresia. I'm Kenyan, so I pronounce every letter as it is. So I hope I've pronounced your name correctly. So I'm doing well. It's big up and welcome. Shadonal, you're saying, for me, I would bring a new left back, a right back, and people who are serious. That's true. And then you're saying, honestly, I usually see Dalo as a joker. When we win or lose, he doesn't care. One of the things that makes Dalo a good player is that he's available. He's available. Alan, big up, Alan. You're saying, sorry, but I don't see them using a lot of money. That's why they want a free market coaches. That's true. Rashford isn't coming back. Ineos don't want to keep players earning 250 and above. Yeah, that's why I said I don't believe the briefing is from the club. Looking at both sides of the coin, I don't believe that briefing of Rashford coming back to United is from the club. I've also seen reports that Carrick wants him back. Yes, he might want him back, but he's not the one who's going to sign him. It's Ineos. Ineos are trying to reduce the wage bill. That's why they let go of those players. And that's why Onana, for example, won't stay at the club. Because if United go back to the Champions League, the 25% cut for every player will be reinstated. Currently, the players are earning less, 25% of their salaries. Onana is one of the top earners at the club. Casemiro is leaving. Sancho is already left because his contract won't be renewed. And I believe Maguire accepted a reduced wage or similar wage. So that's why I'm saying I don't believe the briefing about Rashford is from the club. It's more from the agents. Agents also give a shout to the likes of Fabrizio, to the likes of Lowry Whitwell and Peppers so that they can push a narrative. Now, the defensive crisis, guys. So Maguire got a red card versus Bournemouth, a 2-2 draw, and he was sent off due to dogso, denial of goal scoring opportunity. And he was supposed to get a 1-match ban. And he was supposed to come back in the Chelsea game. But the FA reviewed what happened after the red card and said, my guy, you have to stay out for one more game. Why? One of the referees, one of the officials said he had Maguire swear. So on the report, he wrote that Maguire swore, and that amounts to disciplinary action. So let me read the report. This is from BBC. It says, in addition to the a 1-match suspension, Maguire has also been fined 30,000 by the FA, who said in a statement that he acted in an improper manner and or used abusive and or insulting words and or behavior towards the fourth official following his dismissal. In the full written reasons, Donoghue, that is the official that had Maguire swear, said that Maguire, as he was leaving the field of play, he approached me and shouted, "You are a joke. You are all an effing joke." Maguire denied in his written submission that he directed the words towards Donoghue or any other official, match officials present. So Maguire said, as I left the field of play following my dismissal, I said something along the lines of, "It's an effing joke." I'm certain that I did not call the fourth official or any match official a joke or use any other form of insult. Maguire, however, acknowledged his evidence that acting as he did was inappropriate, and he apologized for saying what he did. The Regulatory Commission considered an additional 2-match suspension, but taking mitigating factors into account, including Maguire accepting the charge, felt a 1-match ban was appropriate. So United will also be without Lisandro Martinez, blah, 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 blah. So it's more or less down to the case of he said, I said, he said, I said. So Donoghue, the fourth official, says, Maguire swore at me. There's also another report that says Donoghue said that it's a joke. based on the report, he wrote down that Maguire said it's a joke. You are an effing joke. Then later, during the hearing or whatever they do, he said that I did not hear the first part, but I heard the second part. Maguire saying, you're an effing joke. Now, Maguire came out in his defense and said, yes, I did say it, but I did not say it to them. So it ended up being he said, I said. So in the end, the 1 match ban was given and £30,000 worth of a fine. So what I'm wondering here is why the FA sided with the referee, because the referee changed his report. He said he wrote one thing, now he's saying a different thing. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. My professional field is not in law. Okay, partially what I do deal with a part of Kenyan law. And one of the things I've realized is when you write down a statement and then during litigation or a hearing or a committee hearing or anything, when you write something on a report, then during a hearing you change it, that creates doubt. That creates doubt. If I was the one listening to the case, and I'm saying this not to be biased because I'm a United fan, is let's give an example of two boys who are fighting each other. You get this boy's report, they write it down, then you tell them, okay, go calm down. When you come back, we'll discuss. Then one of the boys comes and says, actually, no, I had written this, but I think this is what happened. You'll start having doubts. And in this case, the FA decided to side with the fourth official. It's like saving face. And now what I'm wondering is why they would wait days before the Chelsea game. The Bournemouth game happened 3 weeks ago. Why did they not meet before and make the decision? Why did they wait till Wednesday, a few days before the Chelsea game? So it goes down to what Dark said. There's an element of witch hunt. There's an element of sabotage. Because normally what the FA do is when they meet, the next Wednesday they have a decision. But this has taken 3 weeks to get a decision. So why wait till 3 weeks? That's my question to the FA. United didn't play last weekend. Okay, not last week. 2 weekends ago. There was a full week before international break, and there were 2 full weeks before United played. But now, even if an appeal was made from the United side, why did they wait until after the Leeds game, then pass the suspension? It's sorry, guys, but that's quite fishy to me. That's quite fishy. That's very suspicious. So 2 things. The fourth official changed his report. What he wrote down and what he said during the hearing or the report he gave during the hearing changed. Maguire has been consistent. Based on the report, Maguire is consistent. He does admit that I said it, but it was not directed at the official. So there's an element of witch hunt there, guys. There's an element of witch hunt. So that leaves now 2 able center backs, and they are young at United. What the FA have done is more or less what we see in our local sports. The sport I used to play, a player would get a red card. And then you have a game, let's say the next game is in 1 month. The disciplinary committee would wait for that 1 month, wait for when you have a fixture, and then now make a decision on whether that player will play. So it creates a psychological issue because United are playing Chelsea. It's a very crucial game for Champions League football. Then you're waiting till Wednesday to make that decision. To me, I find that odd. I need to, probably I'm wrong. Probably I'm wrong. Give me the benefit of doubt that I'm wrong, because I need to go and find out the timelines. I need to find out like when the decision was made, when the appeal was made, when the hearing for the appeal was done, and now finally this. Because in my point of view, the Bournemouth game was 27 days before the Leeds game. The decision should have been made earlier, so that by the time United are playing Leeds, they know that Maguire is not available for 2 to 5 matches, because he was supposed to get an additional what? Let's see. He was supposed to get an additional 2-match ban. So why wait till now, then make the decision? So the FA does not sit like when it's necessary. They usually send out these decisions every Wednesday. If there is a red card on a Saturday, on a Sunday, or on a Monday, on Wednesday you get the decision. So United, 2 weeks before the Leeds game, didn't get the decision. They appealed, yes, but this is something that should have been said earlier. Probably I'm wrong. Let me admit, probably I'm wrong. I need to go and check the timelines. Or some of you guys know the timelines, so educate me. Let me know whether I'm wrong. But to me, that has created a very difficult situation for United, because the Chelsea game is a very crucial game. Chelsea are pushing for Champions League. 5th place this season will get Champions League. United are 7 points ahead of Chelsea, if not 5 or 6. So if United lose that, they are meeting Liverpool next. Liverpool look like they're on a high. Being kicked out of Champions League, they need to find a way to get back. Aston Villa, we don't know how they'll perform. Yes, United lost, they're still in 3rd place, but to me, it's not a good situation for Carrick to be in. Next, we are going to discuss like what does Carrick need to do to make sure that United don't lose that. But before that, let me read some of the comments and then we proceed. Let's see. Sven, you're saying United needs new owners and a clean board overhaul. Without this, we ain't seeing top tier football. You know, at times you just accept the situation you are in. Sven, at times you just accept. There is little we can do as fans. The fans have tried protesting. The fans have tried asking fans not to subscribe, let's say, to MUTV, not to buy shirts, but some fans still do. It's difficult to ask fans to hit the Glenius group where it's hard. For example, in my opinion, the best way to get these owners out of the club is not spending, is not giving them money. So, for example, not subscribing to MUTV, not going to the stadium, not buying season tickets, choke them. Don't give them revenue. They will be forced to sell. But that's difficult because someone loves the club. They want to go watch matches. Someone has had a season ticket for generations. Their grandfather had a season ticket. It was passed down to the dad, and now they have it, and they want to pass it down to their kids. So in that aspect of asking fans not to go to games, it's difficult. United is a global club. Me in Nairobi, Kenya, what can I do to protest? Very little. Even if I say I won't subscribe to MUTV, if I say I won't watch United games on DSTV, then who's losing? Is it DSTV or is it Manchester United? In Africa, let's be honest, we rarely buy original jerseys from the Manchester United store. We buy knockoffs from China and locally. So even if I say I won't buy a jersey in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, I'm still not hurting them, because even when I buy my own jerseys, the money does not go directly to them. If I say I won't watch matches, so it's difficult. We just have to accept they own the club. They are there to make a living out of it. HD Lesia, big up. You're saying it's frustrating that we don't have our best weapon against Chelsea, which is the experience that Martinez and Maguire bring. That's true. That's very, very true. I'm worried about that defensive lineup. But Yoro and Heaven are good. They are good. They are good young defenders. That's the future of United. And it's a worry. It's a worry because we don't know the future. It's just a worry. We are just worried about not having that experience. But they can perform well. We've seen situations where Yoro and Heaven have performed well. We've seen situations where when both of them play, they play well. Or individually, when they play, let's say with Maguire or Martinez, they play well. It's just a worry we have. And it's a good thing that you're saying it's frustrating. Yes, it is frustrating. And that's why I'm like, why wait? Why wait until yesterday, a few days before the Chelsea game? The other thing, why place the game at 10 p.m. on a Saturday? You play United on Monday, then you play United on Saturday at 10. There are some things I don't understand. United have their game switched to Monday. Leeds played their FA Cup over the weekend. They had an extra day. Why not have the game on a weekend? So some things the FA and the Premier League are doing, I don't understand. And I also, guys, I've asked you, I'll also do research, like the timelines for that decision. Why wait till a few days before the game? Why couldn't the decision come, like, let's say last week, before the Leeds game? So that even Carrick, the team, knows. For example, my view is, if Martinez knew that Maguire won't be available in the Chelsea game, probably he would have been more careful not to get the red card. Probably. When you have that information on the back of your mind, probably Martinez will have played in a way that he knows he won't get another card or he won't get suspended. So any one of you who's in the comment section, who's watching live, if you have a view of the timelines of why this happened, let me know. I'll also do research. So let me read also a couple of comments. We finalize the topic, then we'll go to the just chatting section. So don't log out. In case the comment is not about the defensive crisis, I'll skip it. Then during the just chatting, I'll go through it. Kevin, you're saying even if the FA is against us, we are going to smash that small London club. I hope so too. Eddie, big up. You're saying the refs have had an agenda against us, starting with the Bournemouth game. I agree. Alan, you're saying big up, Alan. If they give Carrick the job, we are done. And I think that's the direction these owners are heading. Let me minimize that window. Let me pin that comment. We'll discuss it in the just chatting section. Orion, big up. You're saying Heaven is good, but Yoro is shaky. I believe we are being so harsh on Yoro. I believe you're being very, very harsh on Yoro. In fact, in the Leeds game, he played well. He played well because he was being asked to do a lot. He was covering a lot of ground. Yoro was playing more than a centre back should be. He was covering a lot of ground. He was covering for Mazraoui. He was covering for Shaw. Mazraoui was normally not available to provide defensive cover. So Yoro has to step up and cover that defensive duty. And when he does, he steps out of position, then we tend to see that he's not performing well because he's rushing to cover for Mazraoui. If the centre backs were coming back, and I'm saying about the Leeds game, then he would have been in positions to give more blocks to be defensively available. I think Yoro, we are just being too harsh. We're just being too harsh on him. He's also a young boy, 20 years old. 20 years old, and we're being harsh. The expectations that we have for United players are high. We have very high expectations on the players. And when they don't perform based on the high expectations, then we tend to say they're not performing well. If you compare Yoro to other centre backs in the Premier League, Yoro is among the top. He might not be among the top 10, but probably he's among the top 20. And in that game, you have to remember also Martinez was not fully fit because he just came from injury. Mazraoui was struggling, so Yoro has to cover for him. Casemiro was off that day, so the midfield was very open. The Ugarte Casemiro pivot was not working, so the defense was being asked to work harder. But to me, I'd say Yoro performed okay, just like any other player. It's like Ugarte. Ugarte had an okay game. He didn't have a very good game. He didn't have a perfect game, but he had an okay performance. And whenever Yoro has played, he's performed well. Like when he was playing with Maguire, he performed well. Yoro did not have like defensive mistakes that led to goals. So we tend to be a bit harsh on young players. It's like how United fans are harsh on Sheshko. They're expecting a lot from a very young forward. And when you look at it factually, when you look at it from a logical view, Sheshko is not getting enough services as forward. And we expect that for every chance he gets, he scores. It's not like in fact, during the watch along, I said Hoyland used to get more service than Sheshko. Hoyland was wasting a lot of chances because he was getting a lot of balls. I wish Sheshko would get a lot of the passes similar to Hoyland. Then now we can say he's even worse than Hoyland. But giving him 3 chances, expecting him to score with every chance, it's unrealistic. I did a whole video about efficient forwards. Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, who are the most prolific number 9s in the world, you give them 5 chances, they will score 3. And we are asking someone like Sheshko to perform like Harry Kane. Yesterday, Harry Kane scored a very good goal. Touch on his left, shot with his right, goal. 1 chance, 1 goal. But how old is he? How much experience does Harry Kane have? He has experience from the Premier League, the Championship, the Premier League, and now England, and now Bayern. And we expect someone like Sheshko to perform like Haaland, who also has massive experience. You look at Yoro, United fans expect Yoro to play like a 27-year-old, a 30-year-old centre-back. And he's still learning the trade. He's a young centre-back. So him being shaky is part of his development. It's part of his development. So if you risk saying you sell him or you don't play him because he's shaky at 20, that's a huge risk. Personally, I would have him play. I would rather have him play, have a couple of shaky performances, and then you're looking at a centre-back who can play for United for 10 years. Probably now get experienced defenders who can play with him. Like when Yoro has played with Maguire, he's been performing well. And he's only 20. Maguire is 30 what? Is it 31 or 33? It's 33. So are we expecting a 20-year-old to play better than a 33-year-old? No. Are we expecting a good performance from him? Yes. I'm not saying we don't expect a good performance from Yoro. But when he does not perform well, we need to be accommodative as fans and say, he's young, he's developing. Ayden Heaven is 19. Do we expect Ayden Heaven to come and play like Martinez? Probably. Personally, no. Because they are young defenders. The Premier League is tricky. You look at the best defenders in the Premier League, how much experience do they have compared to what we have? You look at Saliba, Gabriel, when they were starting at Arsenal, how were their performances? They were also shaky. The 2 best centre-back pairings or centre-backs in the Premier League, Saliba, Gabriel. But when they were starting, they also shaky. They had 1 good performance or 1 good game, 1 bad game. 2 good games, 1 bad game. Right now, all of us know that Saliba and Gabriel are the best centre-backs in the Premier League. But how did they get there? It's through patience. The Arsenal fans were patient with them. Arsenal moved from Pa Matasaka. We can say Maguire is like Pa Matasaka to now Yoro. So, what I would like to urge you as United fans is please be patient with these young kids. For example, Ahmad right now, if you say Ahmad is shaky, Ahmad is not performing well, I would back you and say yes, Ahmad needs to improve because Ahmad has played for United for years. He was signed by Ole. Ahmad has gone out on loan. Ahmad has a lot of first team experience compared to Yoro and Heaven. So I would back you and say yes, Ahmad is not performing as we expect. The expectations we have on a player like Ahmad should not be the same expectations we have a player for like Yoro and Heaven. But that being said, it does not mean that they continuously perform poorly and we continuously say it's okay. No. Shaky means, in my view of that word shaky, one time they are playing well, the other time they are playing poorly. So if they continue playing poorly, then don't keep them, sell them. That's my view. That's my view. Fred, you're saying our next Mark Goldbridge. W to you. I hope I wouldn't be like him. I hope to be different. I was having a chat with my friend. He's called Yoro. He's he's been on the platform as well. And we were discussing about Gary Neville's overlap buying Goldbridge's platform. So in case you didn't know, Mark Goldbridge has sold both of his YouTube channels to Gary Neville. Gary Neville has a media company. So Goldbridge has sold both his United Stand and That's Football channels. That I think the United Stand has around 2 point something million subscribers. That's Football. That's Football is the platform he uses for watch alongs for games like Arsenal, City, Chelsea, City. It does not focus on United. So he sold both channels to Gary Neville's. I think the media company is called the Overlap or something. So I was telling him, I saw it coming because Mark Goldbridge recently has been very objective. Over the years, he has been all about rage bait. He has all been about tuning into the emotions, the frustrations. But the last few months, if you've been following Mark Goldbridge, he's been very objective to a point where I was also shocked. Like, really? Mark Goldbridge can be objective? Like, when Amorim was trying to do something, he was backing him. So I told my friend, I told Yoro, like, I saw this coming. I had a feeling he's building towards something. And lo and behold, he sold the platform. So I hope not to be like him or similar to him. I hope to be different. I try to be objective. I try to be less emotional, less sentimental when I'm discussing about United. But thanks for the compliment. Thanks for the compliment. Let me see. Orion, you're saying wait till August. Our defenders will be all available, and the board won't buy centre backs. Mesh Tech Pro, you're saying Chelsea will beat Manchester United. That's a difficult game. That's a really, really difficult game. I think. Let me just point that out. We end the discussion, then we go to the just chatting section. It will be a difficult game. Chelsea are also struggling. Chelsea are also very, very, very shaky. They are erratic. You look at how they played versus City. There are instances when they were good. There are instances when they were very open. My view in that game was Chelsea could have lost by more. They could have also scored a lot of goals. United play well versus big teams. No one expected United to beat Arsenal. No one expected United to beat City. No one expected United to beat Liverpool. And United in those big games turn up. They turn up. No one expected United to go to Anfield and beat Liverpool. No one expected United to go to the Emirates, the mighty Emirates, and beat Arsenal. the best team in Europe. And Arsenal struggled in that game. They depended on set pieces. So Chelsea can be open. United can also be open. So I would say that game is free for all. It can go either way. And such kind of games, unfortunately, what I've realized over the years is they end up being boring. You might find that game will end up being boring. It might end up being a 0-0 draw. Because there can be an aspect of fear. Like United decide to park the bus, or Chelsea decide to park the bus because they know United will play counter. There can also be an element of you score, I score, you score, I score. So it can end up being an exciting game. So let's see how it goes. Because that game is quite open. That game is very open. Now, back to the defensive crisis. My view is Carrick needs to set up his system in a way that mitigates any risk in that centre-back position. For example, when Kobe Mino is back, because there are reports that Kobe Mino will be back, he's back training on grass. Let Casemiro sit deeper. It's like now, instead of having a 4-2-3-1, you have a 4-1-2 something, 4-1-2-3. So you have Kobe and Bruno sitting on top of, or playing on top of Casemiro. So Casemiro sticks more in the defensive. Then you play two number 8s, or one number 8, one number 10, but they are like ahead of Casemiro. So Casemiro sticks more towards the defensive. That's one way to mitigate not having experienced center backs. The other way is only attack on one side. So, for example, if United are attacking on the left, Dalot on the right sticks. He becomes a third center back. So you play 3 center backs plus Casemiro providing cover ahead of the center backs. Then the other left back can roam. That's another way. So in my view, Carrick needs to come up with a way to mitigate the risks of exposing this very young center back pairing. The other way that Carrick might decide to go with is play Luke Shaw, play Yoro as the 2 center backs, and then find someone to play left back and Dalot to play right back, or Mazraoui to play right back, Dalot to play left back. But this game, Carrick, I don't think Carrick will approach it the same way he will approach any other game. What I expect in this game, we'll do a preview tomorrow or Saturday. I expect United to sit more and hit on the counter. Chelsea push numbers forward. They have Pedro, they have all those guys pushing forward. Enzo will be back. Caicedo will play. So they tend to push numbers forward. So what you do, hit them on the counter. Their keeper right now, Sanchez, is very shaky. So I would expect United to sit deep, hit them on the counter, because they know their center backs are not available. Martinez is not available. Maguire is not available. The other thing I would expect United to try to do is not give away a lot of set pieces, because Maguire is dangerous attacking. Is also good in terms of defending. So losing that height of Maguire during set pieces is risky for United. The other thing I would go for is don't play Šeško. Start with Mbumo, start with Ahmad for the counter. And then the second half, bring on Šeško, because Šeško right now is our clutch player. So that is my expectation in that game. I don't know what you guys think. I'll read through the comments based on that. But in my view, the expectation I would have is to mitigate the risks, Casemiro sits deeper, United sit deeper, and hit Chelsea on the counter. That will be my expectation. Kevin Vinks, you're saying, talking of counter, that means Mbemo must start on the right. I wouldn't start Mbemo on the right. Start him up front, then Ahmad. Play that the way United played versus Arsenal versus Chelsea versus Man City. Sorry, play that versus Chelsea. Start with Mbumo as the false nine. Start with Ahmad on the right. Because Sheshko of late has been very, very slow. Like in that Leeds game, he got a very good chance, a 1-on-1. It ended up being a 3-on-1 because he was slow to get on the ball. He had a poor touch, and he should have scored. But with Mbumo having a dynamic crew, a dynamic trio of Cunha, Mbumo, Ahmad with Bruno, they are supporting. There are more chances to more chances to create chances, and there are more opportunities to score goals rather than having Sheshko starting. So I would be comfortable starting Boomer as the false nine. That game I would go with a false nine. It has not been working in games that United play smaller teams, but it can work with playing versus, let's say, Chelsea. Because you remember in the first leg, Mbumo actually got Sanchez sent off because of that sort of setup, the counter. If you remember correctly, the first leg. So having that dynamic duo of dribblers, guys who take risks versus a team like Chelsea, and of course sitting deep, then you can create more chances. Right now, Sheshko needs some care. He's under a lot of pressure to perform. He's under a lot of pressure to score. And having him in that game, for me, I'm seeing it as if you risk losing a game because you want to accommodate a player. This is not a game to take risks. Like with Sheshko. Sheshko, if he comes on a second half, for example, take off Ahmad, have Mumo in, bring in Sheshko, then you're looking at someone who can get that clutch goal. Probably a winner, an equalizer, or something like that. Yeah. Orion, you're saying yes, Mbumo must start because his space is needed for the counter attacks. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree with you absolutely on that. The dancing referee, big up. You're saying I was wondering why Mazraoui was in for that long. Yeah, it's. Let me now change this to just chatting. I think we are already 7 minutes past time. So let me just take 3 minutes to read a couple of comments and respond. It's one of those decisions where Carrick made wrong. Carrick made a wrong decision to keep Mazraoui at the second half. He should have played Dalot in the second half. He should have substituted Sheshko in that second half. So what I was expecting in that game is at halftime, Sheshko comes off for Mbumo, Mazraoui comes off for Dalot. So it's one of those wrong calls that Carrick made on the day. That's one of the things. Shadonal, big up. You're doing too much, man. You're doing too much. You've gifted us all a heart to me. How many roses? 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can't even count because I have to scroll. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. And just like that, we've hit the target of 11 gifts. So, Shadonal, big up. Big up. So, guys on YouTube, guys on Kick, Twitch, post your comments. I think we have, like, I can extend to we end the next 15 minutes. Let me react to some of your comments. I've also been away for long, so let's interact. So let's just have a chat. Let me read some of the comments, respond to them. Is it Laclac 001 fan? I don't know whether I've butchered your name, but you're asking, what are your thoughts on Mason Mount? Sell him. Sell Mason Mount. Sell him, even if it's 15 million. Sell him. Sorry. Sell him right now. There are players we need to sell ASAP. Don't think twice. I know United want to recoup a lot of money. United signed Mason Mount for 55 million with 5 million add-ons. That's 60. But sell him. I also posted a video saying that United need to be ruthless. The only way this rebuild can show benefit is ruthlessness. Give players a certain amount of time, like 2 seasons. If they don't perform, sell them. Like Onana, sell. Mason Mount, sell. There is no point of keeping a fragile player in that squad. He's not helping United. He's just taking away the money. Just another body to fill in the position. Sell him. And that's why I said, if someone, let's say, comes with 100 million for Bruno, I wouldn't blink twice. I would sell him. Yes, he's our best player. Yes, he's he's not even one. He's the best number 10 in the world. But if someone comes in with crazy money, sell him. Of course, don't sell him in the Premier League. Sell him elsewhere, but use that money to rebuild. That's the sort of ruthlessness Ineos need, because right now United don't have money to go out and spend on 10 players. So when you're running into debt, even in real life, like you have loans, you don't have enough income, most of the time you look at what assets you can sell. What asset can I sell to invest so that I get more or I get out of trouble? If you look at Liverpool, let me give an example of Liverpool. For Klopp to rebuild his squad, they looked at the assets they had. They had someone like Coutinho. Coutinho was their best player then. The fans loved him. Klopp loved him. But because he's an asset and you can use that money to rebuild a squad, you sell your asset. Sometimes it comes to that. When you don't have cash, you look at the assets you have, you let them go so that you can invest. For example, you have a 120-inch screen in your house. You have 3 months rent due. So what do? It's an asset. You sell it, you pay your rent. United don't have money. They are letting go of 8 players. Last summer, they let go of 8 players, signed 4. This summer, they are letting go of 8. So we are talking about 16 players leaving the club, minus 4. So you have 12 players. So you need to replace 12 players. Some of the players in the club are also not performing well. For example, Sheshko needs help. So you go for an experienced striker. Someone mentioned about a left back, right back. Mazraoui is struggling. De Ligt is injury prone. Martinez is injury prone. Do you keep them because of sentiment? Do you keep them because we love them? Do we keep them because at one time they were good or they will become good? Sell them. That's why Bayern sold Mazraoui and De Ligt, so that they can invest that money elsewhere. And the Bayern fans complained. They wrote a petition to the Bayern board not to sell De Ligt. But look at that Bayern team right now. Look at how they played yesterday. So do you keep a player who's injury prone, or do you invest and then perform that way, that like they performed last night? So United, we've suffered from sentiment. For example, why give Maguire an additional contract instead of letting him go and investing that money elsewhere? United are yet to replace Carrick, and he's now the manager. He's now the head coach. Carrick left and he's come back twice, and he has not been replaced. Instead of United investing in a good player, they go and get someone like Eriksen. They get Eriksen, they let Eriksen go and still haven't replaced Eriksen. Look at how a joke of a club United have become. So they say they won't invest money in a midfielder. They get a free transfer. They let the free transfer go and still don't replace that free transfer. They let certain players go, like Anthony left, Rashford left, Sancho left. They let all those wingers go and only buy 2. And one of them is not a winger. Cunha is not a winger. He's more of a number 10. So they let go of 4 wingers and sign 1 and 1 number 10. So Mount needs to go. He needs to go. Even if you're going to get like 20 million for him, that 20 million, you can get a good player with it. You can top up and get another reliable player. One of the reasons why Dalot is liked by coaches is because he is always available. I can't remember the last time Diogo Dalot was injured. Can't remember. So if he's available, you go with him. So Mason Mount is not available. He plays an average of 10 games a season out of a 50-game season. So why keep him? Sell him. Sell him. If these owners go, Alan, you're saying if these owners go on like this, I'm afraid we are going to be like Spurs and Newcastle. That's true. Let's see whether Ineos fix it. They are trying to fix it. They are not doing it perfectly, but they are trying. United need a structure. United need a rebuild. Last night, was it last night or the day before, on the WhatsApp group, on the UKG WhatsApp group, in case you want to be a member of the UKG WhatsApp group, the links are on the social. Just join. We have discussions there. I said, I'm at a point where I'm not even worried about the next manager. I'm not worried whether it's Carrick. I'm not worried whether it's Nagelsmann. My worry is this team. Because this team, even if you bring a light manager like Enrique, like even Pep, they will still struggle. So my worry is not even on the manager side. My worry is, will Ineos fix this squad? Because also part of the discussions they will have with managers is rebuilding the squad, rebuilding it. So I agree with you. Newcastle are a bit better because Newcastle, one thing that has affected them is PSR. They have a lot of money, but they can't spend because they're not getting a lot of revenue. But you look at Tottenham, that's a good example for United. You make poor decisions in recruitment, you make poor decisions in selling players and then replacing them. That's what you get. They let go of Harry Kane, they let go of Son, but they haven't replaced them. They got Maddison. Maddison is like Mount. Plays 30 minutes, he's injured for 10 games. So Tottenham is a blueprint for United not to follow. Not to follow. Guys are giving credit to Carrick, but they don't know how much work that has gone to getting the 31 points that Carrick is building on. Amorim got 31 points. So Carrick built on that 31 points, but getting the 31 points with this team and then Carrick coming in and getting those 21 points, 22 points with this team, those two managers have done a very good job. Amorim and Carrick getting the points they have with this team, I'm telling you, they've done a very, very good job. That's why I've said now I won't even focus on whether it's Carrick, whether it's Enrique, whether it's Nagelsmann, because this team needs a rebuild. You saw how Casemiro was struggling versus Tanaka in that midfield. So on paper, the team looks good, but as a collective, it's not working. The profiles are not matching. I was watching that Real Madrid and Bayern game and I was asking myself, can this United team match that intensity? I don't know whether you guys watched that game. That game was intense. End to end. Guys were running. Guys were fighting for the ball. Right now, the intensity has gone down. Right now, the intensity at United has gone down. So I was looking at that team. And then it also reminded me of the Bodo Glimt versus Sporting Lisbon game. And I was asking myself, will this team be able to handle that intensity? I'm even asking you guys, if you watch that Real Madrid and Bayern game, what if Bayern was playing versus United? What if Real was playing versus United? Could United have managed that intensity? Orion, you're saying you forgot Garnacho. Garnacho is also gone. One of the best investments United handled. He's there at Chelsea, he's struggling. And we use that money to buy Cunha and or Mbumo. So that's a good decision United made. And you see, a lot of fans wanted Amorim gone because he wanted to sell Garnacho. But right now, we're actually seeing that it was a good decision. In our UKG chat with the team we usually have the big debate with, I was saying, imagine we were thinking that Garnacho is one of the best players in the world. When he was at United, that's how deluded as United fans we were. Thinking that Garnacho is one of the best players in the world. Thinking that Rashford is one of the best players in the world. And we are saying he's our best player. That's how bad the squad is. Imagine looking at Rashford, Garnacho, and saying, those are our best players. Then they go to Garnacho goes to Chelsea, Rashford goes to Barcelona. Then they are average players. So imagine our best players going to other teams becoming average. So how is the rest of the United squad? Just think about that for a minute. Our best players have gone to other teams. They are now average. So how about the rest of the United squad? For example, I was asking myself last night, we keep saying Bruno is our best player. Bruno is the best number 10 in the world. Bruno is this, Bruno is that. Place him in that Bayern or Real team. Will he still be the best in that team? I was thinking that last night when I was watching that Champions League game. Bruno currently is our best player. Best number 10. We say he's the best number 10 in the world. But if you place him in, let's say, Bayern or Real currently, will we still say, or will those fans say that Bruno is their best player? Look at Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe has gone to Real. He was PSG's best player. He has gone there. He's now looking average because he's gotten players that are also on another level. So United need to think before investing. Like, I'm seeing some of the names linked to United. I'm saying, yes, buy them, but don't keep them more than 4 seasons. For example, like Joe Gomez from Wolves. He's a good player, but you don't keep him for long. I was trying to draw parallels with Liverpool. Liverpool went for some players we didn't even understand why they are going for those players. But those players helped them to get to top 4, and then they rebuilt the squad with better players. Because in fact, let me see the Liverpool squad. Let me mention some of the names that Liverpool got, I think, in the third season under Klopp. Second season. Let me have a look at this. So, this is the team that Klopp had in the second season. So, I won't mention the top names. I'll just mention some players that were average but still performed for Liverpool. Then they were replaced. For example, Oxlade-Chamberlain. He was not a world-class player. He was not a top player, but he did the job. You look at, for example, James Milner, Emre Can. Then you look at players like Dejan Lovren, Loris Karius, Simon Mignolet. Those are the players that Liverpool went for because they were cheap and they could do the job. And then now when they started performing, like consistently pushing for top 4, what did Liverpool do? Started going for players like Salah, Wijnaldum, Mane, Roberto Firmino, Virgil van Dijk. Then they went for a young player like Andrew Robertson. They promoted Trent Alexander-Arnold. They started going to the next level. They brought in good players, So, and you see what they did was they let go of Coutinho because, as I said, he was the asset. They got 150 million. Then they used that 150 million to get like 6 players. So I remember they also had like Origi. Origi was not a top player, but he was performing. He was doing a good job. Origi was doing a good job. So, as fans, we also need to accept that a rebuild is painful. A rebuild is painful. So, I'm looking at the squad here. They had someone like Neven Subotic or Sabotic. Before they got Allison, they had Simon Mignolet. Yeah, they had Marcel Schmelzer. No, sorry, that's not he wasn't there. That's Borussia. So they had some players that you look at their names, you're like, let me filter by Liverpool. Yeah, I think I was looking at all players used by Klopp. Sorry for that, guys. So some of the names you look at here, it's like similar to Joao Gomez. You go for him, he will do the job. And then when you now United are consistently in top four, now you upgrade with a better player. Yeah. So you look at they had James Milner, Dejan Lovren, Emre Can, Simon Mignolet. Yeah. You remember they also had Nathaniel Klein. Nathaniel Klein was their right back. Adam Lallana. You remember Adam Lallana? They had Alberto Moreno, and they sold him because he was an asset. Divock Origi, Oxlade Chamberlain. Yeah. So in fact, let me see whether I can get that season. We look at that Liverpool squad. Let me see, 15, 16. Let me just see. Let me check the Liverpool. Yeah. So the season 2015-2016, they had Simon Mignolet as the goalkeeper, Nathaniel Klein right back, Alberto Moreno left back, Emre Can centre back, Adam Lallana attacking midfield, Roberto Firmino striker, James Milner midfield, Dejan Lovren centre back, Felipe Coutinho attacking midfield, Mamadou Sakho, you remember Mamadou Sakho centre back, Lucas Leiva defensive midfielder, Jordan Henderson DM, Benteke. You remember Liverpool had Benteke, an average striker, but he was still doing the job. Kolo Toure, Jordan Ibe, Joe Allen, Daniel Sturridge, Martin Scuttle, Divock Origi, Kevin Stewart, Brad Smith, John Flanagan, Connor Randall, Adam Bodgan, and Joao Carlos Teixeira. Look at that squad. They just went for average players. Yeah. Minamino, Fabinho. Those now, you see, Fabinho now came to replace the likes of Milner. Fabinho now came to replace the likes of Joe Allen, came to replace Lucas Leiva, came to replace who was the other defensive midfielder. So we can say, like, when they were signing Fabinho, they were replacing someone like Joe Allen. And Joe Allen was gotten from, was it Swansea? Because they were rebuilding. So because they were rebuilding, they went for cheaper options that could do the job, propel them to a certain level, and then now start replacing one by one. We know that Liverpool raided Swansea that season, and they raided. They then raided Southampton. You remember they got Van Dijk, they got Sadio Mane, they got all those players. So I'm looking at the names United are going for, and the reports that United don't have money. I'm now starting to ask myself, do United have 100 million for someone like Elliot Anderson? Or do they go with that 100 million, get two players that can propel United to the next level? Probably in 2-3 seasons, compete for top four, always maintain Champions League. Then the third season, when they approach a top player, they tell the top player, look, we are competing for top four. We are always in the Champions League. We need you to now win the Premier League. Because that's what Liverpool did. So that is the 2015-2016 squad. Now, let me get you the squad that I think they won was it 2021 season? Let me just check the 2021-22 season. Now, listen to this. 2021-2022 season. Alisson was their keeper. So they let go of Mignolet, they got Alisson. Van Dijk, Alexander Arnold, Mohamed Salah, Andrew Robertson, Sadio Mane, Jordan Henderson, Joel Matip, Fabinho, Jota, Konate, Thiago Alcantara, Naby Keita, Firmino, Konstantinos Chimikas, Luis Diaz, Curtis Jones, Oxlade-Chamberlain was still there, Milner was still there, Joe Gomez, Minamino, as we've mentioned, Kyomin Kelleher, Divock Origi, Harvey Elliott, Tyler Morton. Look at how they moved from average players that could do the job to now starting to get world-class players. They did not do it in one season. So as United fans, let's not expect Ineos to go for world-class players in one transfer window or two. The rebuild needs to be gradual because United don't have that money like PSG or City. That's the 2021-22 season. Now let's go to 2022-23 season. One season later. So one season later, Fabinho is still there. Robertson is still there. Nunes, they get Nunes. Nunes now comes in. Darwin Nunes comes in. Who else comes in? Cody Gakpo is there. Who else? Fabio Carvalho. You see? So they've brought in Nunes. He was a good player. They bring in Gakpo, who's now one of their best players. Let's look at 23-24 season. 23-24 season, McAllister is there. Nunes, Gakpo are still there. Harvey Elliott is still there. They bring Wataru Endo. They bring in Dominic Szoboszlai. They have Jarell Kwanzaa. You see? Ryan Gravenbeck is there. So they've left. They let go of. Now let me look at 22-23 season. So some players have left. So if you compare the squad they had in 2015-2016 season and the squad they had in 2021-2022 season, a lot of players have been let go. And they started with an average team that was competing for top 4. So United also need the same. They sold, Liverpool sold Coutinho because they were saying, yes, Coutinho performs. Coutinho gives us the goals he creates. But this is 150 million. We can use that money to get like 5 players. That's what they did. They became patient. Look at Liverpool team right now. They can afford to pay 500 million as a transfer window. Why? Because they are always in the Champions League. They are competing for the title and they can convince big players to come. So United want to convince Elliot Anderson not to go to City to come to United. So he's looking at the City squad. He's looking at the United squad. He's like, you're asking me to go and play with Mason Mount instead of playing with Reinders. You're asking me to play with Šeško instead of Haaland. You're asking me to play with Ahmad instead of Ryan Cherki. Come on. These guys are winning 3 trophies a season. You guys are not even challenging. So instead of going for someone like Elliot Anderson, you go for someone like Joe Gomez. He will come there 3-4 seasons, give you a good performance, help you challenge for top 4. Then you sell him, replace him with a better player. That's my view. Yeah, you remember Shaqiri, all these names. So United just need to be patient. The most Shadonal, you're saying the most important thing, the most surprising thing is Anthony's performing at Betis, because it's not Premier League. It's like Ugarte. Once Ugarte leaves the Premier League, you'll see United fans starting to say that he's performing well. So guys on Kick, guys on Facebook, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, I'm ending the stream. Thanks very much. I think I've done 1 hour 30. So you can jump over to TikTok. I'll continue the discussion on TikTok. I usually don't like having long live videos on YouTube. So I'll just continue having the discussion on TikTok. So guys on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, see you there. Cheers and bye-bye.